What if I told you that the most shocking engagement in this story wasn't about love, it was about survival? Picture this: one man, rejected, humiliated, still talking, endlessly talking, and two women watching him, one desperate to escape him, the other quietly pulling the strings. You think this chapter is about romance. It's not. It's about a woman who made a choice most people would never admit they'd make, because while everyone else was distracted, polite dinners, forced smiles, awkward conversations, a plan was already in motion. A plan to secure a future. A plan to avoid becoming invisible. A plan that would shock her closest friend. Mr. Collins believed he was in control. He believed fate had finally smiled on him. But what if he was being guided the entire time? What if this engagement wasn't won by love, but by timing, calculation, and cold realism? In one single morning, everything changes. A walk down a quiet lane, a meeting that looks accidental but isn't, and by the time the words are spoken, there's no going back. Because this chapter asks a brutal question. Is marriage about happiness, or is it about security? And when the truth finally reaches Elizabeth Bennet, it doesn't just surprise her, it shakes her faith in friendship itself. Stay with me, because what happens next will redefine love, friendship, and what it really means to make a practical choice. No one noticed it at first. That was the most dangerous part. The dinner at the Lucas's house looked ordinary. Polite smiles, forced laughter, and one man talking far too much. Mr. Collins was in excellent spirits, and Elizabeth Bennet was quietly relieved. Someone else was listening to him now. Charlotte Lucas. Elizabeth thanked her sincerely. Keeping Mr. Collins distracted was a kindness she could never repay. Charlotte smiled. Calm, pleasant, helpful. But Elizabeth had no idea what Charlotte was really doing, because this was not kindness. This was strategy. Charlotte Lucas was not listening to Mr. Collins to be polite. She was listening to protect herself from loneliness, from uncertainty, from the terrifying future of having nothing. And appearances were working in her favor. By the time the evening ended, Charlotte felt almost certain she had succeeded. Almost. There was only one problem. Mr. Collins was leaving Hertfordshire very soon. But Charlotte underestimated one thing: the stubborn confidence of Mr. Collins himself. Early the next morning, before anyone at Longbourn could notice, Mr. Collins slipped away quietly. No goodbyes, no explanations. He had a mission. He hurried toward Lucas Lodge, heart full of confidence, mind rehearsing speeches that would last far too long. He avoided the Bennet family on purpose. If they saw him leave, they might guess what he intended to do. And he wanted success first. Explanations could wait. From an upstairs window, Charlotte saw him coming. She did not panic. She did not hesitate. She stepped outside at once, timed perfectly, so their meeting would look accidental. But even she was not prepared for what followed. Mr. Collins spoke. And spoke. And spoke. Love, gratitude, duty, happiness. His words spilled out endlessly, but Charlotte listened with patience and control. She did not blush, she did not pretend passion. She simply allowed it to happen, and before his speeches could finally end, everything was settled. He asked her to name the day that would make him the happiest of men. Charlotte delayed only out of formality. There was no reason to prolong this courtship that offered no charm, no romance, and no illusion. Mr. Collins was not clever. He was not agreeable, and love, real love, was never part of the arrangement. But he offered something else: security. That was enough. Her parents were informed immediately. Their approval came without hesitation. Mr. Collins was an excellent match for a daughter with little fortune. His future wealth looked promising. Lady Lucas began calculating how long Mr. Bennet might live. Sir William dreamed of court appearances and prestige. The family celebrated. Charlotte remained composed. She had achieved her goal. At 27, without beauty and without fortune, she had done what society quietly demanded of women like her. She had secured her future. Happiness was uncertain, but comfort was not. Only one thing troubled her: Elizabeth Bennet. Elizabeth was her closest friend, and Charlotte knew this decision would shock her. So she insisted that Mr. Collins tell no one. He promised secrecy, dutifully, but keeping quiet was torture for him. Every question about his sudden absence nearly broke his resolve. That evening, as he prepared to leave, Mrs. Bennet warmly invited him back to Longbourn soon. He accepted eagerly. Mr. Bennet, suspicious, warned him about offending Lady Catherine. Mr. Collins assured him no decision would be made without his patroness's approval. Everyone was confused. Mrs. Bennet began imagining a proposal to one of her younger daughters, but the next morning destroyed every such hope. Charlotte Lucas arrived early. She asked Elizabeth for a private conversation, and then she told her everything. Elizabeth froze. "Engaged to Mr. Collins?" she cried. "Impossible!" Charlotte expected this. The shock passed quickly from her face. Why should it be impossible? Was Mr. Collins incapable of earning any woman's approval simply because he had failed with Elizabeth? Elizabeth recovered her composure and forced a polite response. She wished her friend happiness, but Charlotte saw through her. She explained calmly, without apology. She was not romantic. She never had been. She wanted a comfortable home. That was all. Considering Mr. Collins's situation, his connections, and his future, her chances of happiness were as good as anyone's entering marriage. Elizabeth agreed, quietly, but inside she was shaken. She could not accept it easily. Mr. Collins had proposed twice in 3 days, and now had been accepted. Charlotte Lucas as Mrs. Collins was a humiliating image. To Elizabeth, it felt like betrayal, not just of love, but of self-respect. Yet Charlotte had chosen survival over ideals, and in this world, that choice came with a price: a secure future and a friendship forever changed.